knew somewhere, somehow, Hichilema will not be part and parcel of a charade. You know, when you're a person of principle, you know, you stick with your principles all the way. And I want to send some shout out and respect to Hakainde Hichilema for literally refused to be part and parcel of a joke. A joke. Who can come to a summit when see kids being locked up in prison? I mean, it takes a hard heart to be able to support that. And again, the SADC villas that you know a lot of money got invested there. Apparently, they are not finished. It was simply a looting vehicle for the thugs. These people will never have enough, let me tell you. They will never have enough. All right, so before we get into the nitty-gritties, I want to say if it's your first time to come across this channel, please do yourself a favor and subscribe and make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live or I drop a video, you will be notified immediately. But I'll send some love and light to all my subscribers whom I love and respect, who always be here. And I'll tell you, we are on the road to 200,000 subscribers. Please share my videos, invite everyone to the conversation. I'll say shout out to Jaden, Absalom Praiser. I'm sure this person must be a Christian. Praise God. It's a beautiful morning. Sylvester, good to see you, man. Okay. What a joke. Again, we are back into drama within the political cycle. And there's almost 100 people just joining us here. Okay, 150. Now, like the live, all of you, please now, so that you push algorithm, inviting everyone to the conversation. We are getting into the most sensitive time. I suggest that's one of the reasons why you guys should be here, so that we can talk. Wow. I am flabbergasted. So we saw a list this morning, which we're going to get into the details a little bit later on. But while we are going on here with the show, I want to remind you guys again that the protest is coming up. It's underway. The preparations are in full force. You cannot believe the Gokwe people have started. I can tell you, people from Gokwe have started protests. And I want you to listen to them speaking. They've started. I'm excited, y'all. I am excited. They had their placards written already pushing that we are ready. Take a listen, please. I'm excited.
SADC isashandisiwa kusanitizer legitimacy yamunangaka. Those who tell them as Zimbabweans, those who tell them vanhu vegokwe. Saka isusu nhasi uno tiri kuprotesta tiri pano pagokwe. Kuti intererai munje Zimbabwe zvaizikanwa kuti kwai vanhu vegokwe vakasara, asi nhasi tiri kutanga isu tichikuudzai kuti musi wa17 munhu wese hakuna ari kutendera kuti Mnangagwa agadzirwe pausataki. Ndo zvatiri kuwirirana. Mnangagwa akavhoterwa nani? SADC iruda kudzidzisa vanhu kuti kudii kuti maelection saka SADC ngairespekte maZimbabweans. Ndo message yatinayo. SADC ngairespekte maZimbabweans. Tiri kuti Mnangagwa hakuna paanogadzikwa pausataki. Chamisa ndiye munhu akavhoterwa. Kana vari kuzogadzika ngavagadzike Chamisa. Ndo zvatiri kuwirirana. Chamisa ndiye anofanira kugara. So ndo zvikuta hazvisi kutaurwa neni, inini ndiri spokesperson, and hazvisi kutaurwa naGive Mochuma, zviri kutaurwa nevana veZimbabwe, zviri kutaurwa nevana vegokwe. Chamisa ndiye anofanira kugara. Kana pasina ngazvidhakwe. Musi wa17 isusu tiri muroti. Tinobvumidzwa nemutemo kuti tinofanira kuita sei? Tinofanira kudemonstrate. Section 59 of constitution yedu inotipa simba rekuti demonstrate. Saka ngatirigadi isusu, because ZANU-PF inotaura kuti kwai Zimbabwe haitorwi nebhiro nepepa. Zvichireva kuti isusu tine duty sevana veZimbabwe rekutora Zimbabwe. Zvatiri kuti tinozvitora zviri pamutemo, tichidemonstrata zviri pamutemo. Saka iwewe mwana weZimbabwe, simuka. Ukaona Gokwe yatanga kutaura kudaro, ko inini bozi kutaura kubva kudhara kuno Gokwe taingonyeperwa isusu. Taingoziva kuti kune ZANU-PF chete. Asi kana waona tasumuka kudai, teerera unewo mwana weZimbabwe. Teerera mwana weZimbabwe. Taura zvekuti isusu tazviramba zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndo zviri kutaurwa neZimbabwe.
tiri kuti isusu chamisa ndiye anofanirwa kupinda vete vamnanga kwagaenda kuda tyrannical government in Zimbabwe tiri kuda democratic government in Zimbabwe asi democracy iri kuena chamisa chete mnangagwa akatadza kubva narinrani 44 years tiri musafari 44 years tichingotambura ndozonakirwa rini noupenyu chamisa ndiye light yezimbabwe ngaapinde ndiye akawina maelection chamisa oye chairmanship iri anda munangagwa muno muzimbabwe hakuna zvakadaro 17 tinoiramba tinotenda
Respect. I respect people from Gokwe. Already started yesterday for the protest. They're not joking. Yes, anyhow. If you are around everywhere, Mashingo, Gokwe, stand up. The time is now to deal with this nonsense. Guys, these people will not stop looting, I can tell you. I think maybe because don't forget that Mugabe's administration, most of them were thugs. They looted and they were never held to account. Now Mnangagwa's administration are trying to do the same, but we want to nail them. They must all return the money they've stolen. They will return it. This time you can't get away with it. All right, so we're gonna move on. Guys, always remember that Zimbabwe is the people. And the people are Zimbabwe. So you and me, we are Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is the people. So one thing that I want us to zone in is more to zoom in on the issue of Zimbabwe, more than it can be a political party. And the reason is very clear, because MPF has been using politics to abuse our people. So let's dump politics, all of us, because even people that are in ZANU-PF are also standing now online and saying we want Mnangagwa to go. We don't want this administration because of looting. So for that reason, we must stand with one voice. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so move on. I met one of my brother who was an incredible guy who on TikTok, again asking the same question that is just literally being backed up by what people from Gokwe are doing. That what do you do? What do you do when they close all the gates for us to have freedom? What can we do as a Zimbabwean people? I want you to listen to him. What can we do except to go on into the streets and do what we have to do? Take a listen, please.
If you are a Zimbabwean and you are not happy with your government, then you go for elections, you vote them out, then your vote does not count. You go to courts, you find out the courts are captured, and no one is ready to give justice to you. You try to protest, the police officers who thwart your protest, they will arrest, intimidate, and beat you up. Then the government that you are not happy with will boastfully then say, we are the police,
right?
We are the army, we are the central intelligence, and we are the courts. They say it in public to let you know that these organizations are not working for the masses anymore. They are now working to protect the dictators that are running the country. Then you go to your neighbors. You realize the neighbors have been given mines. So they say things like there is no crisis in Zimbabwe. And they can't help you. While you are crying that elections have been rigged, they come and congratulate the winner. What do you do? If all the avenues that you must use to attain your freedom and to choose the government of your choice and to live peacefully in your country, if all those avenues are closed, what do you do? Where do you go? Because that answer that you are going to give is exactly the action that is needed now. Think and think deeply about this, because your future and that of your children depends on it.
That's it. That's it. Yes, right. That's Aaron here. What happens? Now all the avenues are closed because that's what they've done. The judiciary, they've captured, You know, the police, all the big fishes are captured. There's army, the big fishes are captured. What do? It means that you're no longer breathing, you're no longer living. But this time it's head on. They need to go. Something has to be done. They have to go. We are ready to fight for freedom. Now, do you even know that the tankers are still right now, you know, roaming around the streets? I saw some of them yesterday in the evening in Kwazana, and the tweets were being sent out that Zimbabwe has since degenerated into a full-blown police and military state combined. This is Arai Township right now, Saskam rounds from Kwazana, cutting across the suburbs on a state-sponsored budget for everything. Farewell to democracy or the attempt to institute it. We are under a ruthless military regime, and that was Comrade Treasure Basop. Because now it's our monies that we are paying, right? It's the same money that they're spending to hurt us. Do you understand me? We pay their salaries. The money they are looting is our money that we are working. In fact, the diaspora, for example, is contributing almost the highest number in as far as the GDP in Zimbabwe is concerned. What do? Because majority of people no longer pay taxes. Everyone is just looting. And then they use that money to come back and hit us. They kill you in return. What a ruthless, wicked people. But this time, we are together. There's another abduction alert as well that we had. Vusumuzuma, I didn't know that he was actually an engineer who was on his way to go and play. You know, he was going to play, that was in Victoria Falls. And he was also abducted again. He was just going for a concert. Because they were accusing him of all manner of things. Let me just read the message that was sent out by, Hopo Chingon, who reported that story. He said, meet Vusmusmo, a renowned sound engineer who used to work with the legendary Oliver Mtukudzi. He was abducted from the plane by Mnangagwa's Secret Service thugs, tortured for 8 hours at Robert Mugabe International Airport, and thrown into prison without trial after being denied bail. He was on his way to Victoria Falls to engineer a concert when he was wrongly accused of plotting protest. He is one of over 100 Zimbabweans jailed by the tyranny Emmerson Mnangagwa in the past 60 days as part of his ruthless and senseless crackdown against pro-democracy activists. Zimbabwe has become a dangerous place for anyone perceived to be opposed to corrupt rule and Mnangagwa's well-known criminal network that loots public funds. The public in Zimbabwe is a mafia don who runs a group of criminals that loot public funds meant for public services. Mugabe was a repressive leader, but in Mnangagwa, Zimbabweans now have a thief and a political thug in the state house. A dangerous tyrant who even kills his own colleagues to stay in power. Sadly, Vusi has been locked up for 2 weeks, has become just another statistics of this sadist president. This is quite very sad. You know, it's one thing when we stand in support of president, but it's another when the people attacking their own president. It's like when your children attacking their own father. It is sad and embarrassing. It is really sad. But you also know that Mnangagwa yesterday, you opened that SADC summit. I don't know whatever he was talking about. Again, going back to the issue of say, Zimbabwe is, whenever it is. Now I want you to listen to him. And he's right. We, the Zimbabwean people, us, we will show him how it's being built. We will show Mnangagwa and his administration how that country is going to be built. Right in their lifetime. They have to see it. We, the people, we must govern. We must stand together, hold hands against wickedness and evil. If they can organize to hurt us, we can organize to stand against evil in that country. So if we listen to Mnangagwa speaking, you can't even believe it. Take a listen. And people are clapping hands. Funny enough, at the front, there were all these people with scarves. I said, what do you expect? It's his thugs, his people. Take a listen.
In Zimbabwe, we say, it's better in Shona. I'll also put it in English, but it's better understood in Shona. Nyika inovakwa igotongwa igonamatigwa nevene vayo. Zvoda kumire fresh. For the benefit of those who don't understand Shona, a country is built, governed, and prayed for by its own people.
You're right. You're right.
This underscores the weighty responsibility we all carry to drive development in our countries from both an individual and collective standpoint. Gone are the days where we depended on people from elsewhere
Right.
to develop our economies,
Good. You're right.
provide services for our communities, and avail goods for our industries and commerce. The forebearers and founding fathers of SADC fought for the political liberation, the democracy and independence and freedom we are presently enjoying. This current generation of SADC citizens, yourselves,
Right. Thank you.
should take deliberate steps
Right.
to exit perpetual dependence.
I love that. Oh, wow.
It is at such forum that we should identify the goods being currently imported into the region so that our talented innovators and vibrant institutions and the young generation can lead in import substitution.
All right. You're right. You're right. All right, he's right. That's the season that we are getting into, the young people. We are taking over. So you are right. This time, it's death or the motherland. We are not backing up. We are going to stand firm and face the wicked. And we are coming out victorious. Let me tell you, there's milk and honey. There's no giant at all. Don't shiver. Musachka, like you human beings. There's no difference. Appalachian Shami said they're just human beings. I talk about the guns. Are they not being sold? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's head on with the wicked. We can't live like this any longer, being manipulated and abused by individuals. Why they loot in front of our faces? You know, it's one thing, even during the Mugabe, it wasn't as bad as now. Now they just live to take. So we work and they take and they spend and they live luxury life. 500 slave queens in town spending our money. This time, we are going to meet head on. Let's see who's going to win. You fall or we're going to fall. So that's how it is. So now Ibo Mandaza was shocked. He also said it's surprising that ZANU-PF act as if it's the first people to actually be having this chairmanship. He said in 1980, so SADC was actually formed prior to that. But so we have easily a crisis, this is Ibo Mandaza, over this over-exaggerated SADC summit. I've witnessed at least 40 summits, having been at the inaugural one on the 2nd of April 1980. That was in Zambia, Lusaka. To put it simply, someone in Harare is afflicted chronically with a legitimacy deficit following an election which every election observer mission, including SADC one, condemning as a fraudulent and farcical. So it's a fraudulent summit by any standards, the worst in history of SADC. Let's make that sink in. He's right. Illegitimate leader and illegitimate SADC summit. It can't be expressed any other than this. Because I'm trying to understand how on earth can all these member states, including South Africa, as progressive as they are, they're not perfect, but you can't compare with Zimbabwe, would have the nerve to allow someone who are in position illegitimately, who was never voted by the people. Not only that, remember the campaign that so important part to actually be able to print the ballot boxes. What that worked with Rashiva is in South Africa, was also robbed in the corruption. That very same company, right? And the money was paid out, $100 million US, and people shared the money among themselves. During the election day, there was no ballot paper. And these are the people that expect that person to actually be the chairmanship of all these progressed countries. And you know, when we started SADC, when what that woman said, it's unfair for the SADC region that Zimbabwe don't even have a working railway line to actually be able to connect from Mozambique to other countries. And that country should also be made chairmanship. Now they have the nerve to lie. You hear about these villas, you'll be shocked. But we're gonna move on. Do you also know that within the ZANU-PF, people no longer want Mnangagwa? And I saw it actually being sent out on X here. So that was Neve Masura who said, out of the over 100 operatives that currently are surrounding Mnangagwa, 82 of them have indicated that they are now against his leadership and are just waiting for the right moment to strike. They sympathize with the manner in which Vice President Constantino Chiwenga is being treated. I think you've seen it. There's a lot that has been happening around. And Tonio for TechMag as well, he said there is really nothing special about Mnangagwa assuming SADC chairmanship. In fact, it's actually Zimbabwe which is getting in chance on rotation, and we all know that. Even if Monzora had won presidency, you would automatically be SADC chairmanship. It's only a regional procedure. Every country gets the opportunity, and coincidentally, a year after a disputed election, one which the SADC COM also disputed, the past SADC chairman is the president of Namibia, and there was never noise or celebration of such an achievement. You don't need to have achieved anything to become SADC chairmanship. Correct. For Zimbabwe, it's a legitimate issue, which one is fighting and wants the process to legitimize a presidency, which is publicly questioned as elections fell off the SADC standards. And is right. Again, I decided that I'm going to do a lot of Shona, I'm not really that fluent, but I'm going to do it. I'll do short ones, educating the masses in the rural area to know that you are being played. Almost every corruption that happens in Zimbabwe, I'm going to be online, doing a short clip that has to be sent across Zimbabwe, so everyone, we can move together, should know that we are dealing with Mbava in this country. The most ruthless people, wicked people, satanic and diabolical people who have no hearts. They would kill just to get money. We had recently, you also know the issue of Bishop Masaya, who was also murdered during the time of the, Scott Saponya trying to wiggle himself into parliament. And last week, reports were they found a dead body at his office buried. And someone's trying to step on this issue. It was reported last week. A dead body was found buried at his office. And someone just want to slip that under the carpet and say it is over. Now, because we're still with President Mnangagwa, whom you heard speaking, now the woman that was accusing him of rape, she went and wrote right on social media, she said, I wonder how many girls he picked after this lecture. People who are assisting Mnangagwa to rape young women in Zimbabwe must be held accountable one day. At least she knows them because she has met them. He said on the 17th of August goals, she wrote the list of her goals. Number 1, she's going to post his naked pictures on social media. And I just got, we're talking about a president. By the way, only God knows. So number 2, I'm going to steal the palm trees, take the palm trees to Chivu, lead the protest from the front, start a revolution, become a war veteran. Pan acharane boots, hallelujah. I put a picture, there was someone sleeping with shoes, with shoes on. We are talking about a president. Zimbabweans, I don't know why we take our lives so lightly. This time, any person who aspires to be the leader of Zimbabwe, we must scrutinize their lifestyle. Where are you coming from? Do you understand me? Check their lifestyle. Who's your wife? Because we are tired of living with people who are just so... it rubs on people, guys. There is something that happens when you have leadership that is corrupt, or that is just not honest, or that is just messed up. You also do remember the story of Susan Mutami, right? On record, when she accused almost a number of ministers that slept with her in Zimbabwe from ZANU-PF. One woman. Again, exposing people that you call leaders. They were supposed to leave the job immediately under normal circumstances. They're not supposed to be leaders of anybody. That's why the country is in a mess. It's being led by men and women with no morals. No morals. Now, I can't believe that they started already attacking Hichilema. Tell me something. Would you go to a house where you're being attacked before you even get to that house? You're being called a sellout, not only in Russia, in front of the entire world. Now young kids online, ZANU-PF supporters, are calling Hichilema a sellout. They're writing it from the page of ZANU-PF Patriots page. Calling an entire president a sellout. Why? Because maybe he's not going to take your dirty money like what other leaders did. They took dirty money. You saw allegations yesterday And I was even saying, my lady, the president of Tanzania, if it's true, but again, how can I say, I can't either confirm or deny, but what I remember, I saw her taking pictures with Wikino Ochivayo. But Wikino is a convict that is known by Zimbabweans. He's also a very compromised human being. So seeing her and doing pictures and ask, what for? So when allegations comes all the way they are now, that she was given $500,000 just to legitimize. And I saw yesterday flying into Zimbabwe and with all these, people surrounding and welcoming her. I was like, are you, my lady, is that true that you took the money? If you did, we want our money back at the right time. So Joseph Kalimbe from Zambia, he said, people of Southern Africa, many of you, follow your accounts in SADC. By that, I want to appeal to your political consciousness over the next days into the weekend. Lapdogs have been sent to speak ill of an innocent man, a man whose only crime is seeking truth. Let's defend him. So I'm suspecting that maybe Mumba may be coming because Hichilema is not coming. We looked at the schedule that they send on social media, and all the other dignitaries that are coming, because also there are 9 of them that are not coming, confirmed. So the list of the few that are coming, there were timetables and the time they're going to land. Hichilema, it does not have no time, nothing. And people says, we know he's not coming. Like I said, how would I come to a place where I'm being disrespected to that extent? As a leader, this is a president of a country that is being treated like a child. But are you surprised? I want to tell you why. It doesn't surprise me at all. Because when I look even what's going on today on social media as we speak from a Zimbabwean context, check the women on Facebook. We have allowed women to talk like animals, and it's accepted in our society. We, the people, we accepted it. And that's one of the reasons why most women, men can't stay with that nonsense. So Zanupef, Arkutuka Hichilema, these young kids, remember these pages are being managed by kids. Arkutuka a president. Imagine me, Tuka Hichilema. I can talk about President Masomananga, but I can't, and what's about Tuka? But I can speak about his work. But as a person, I can't. But we created the culture and we normalized it. Now it's coming back to haunt us. Remember, it's Zimbabwe, not few 2 guys or 3. It's Zimbabwe being known Tuka a president because he simply stood on a principle. He did not sell out. He did not sell himself to protect wrong. He stood by principle. But our people already shout. You can hear even George Charamba speaking. What a ruthless man. Call him that he has hired a gun. Are you telling me that sending Mumba to come to Zimbabwe to observe election, he was being called a hired gun by George Charamba? Take a listen, please.
Presidential spokesperson George Charamba has launched a scathing attack on the SADC election observer mission head, Neves Mumba, when he says he went beyond the SADC protocol in relation to compiling the SADC observer mission election report in Zimbabwe elections.
We are seeing an enthusiastic chairman of a process which is in fact a SADC one. He does not report to the Zambian people, which is why we all were flabbergasted to find him spending as much as more than 2 hours on a national television. Who is he reporting to? This is a SADC mission, for goodness sake, appointed by the chairman of a SADC organ, not a SADC summit, SADC organ. Right? What it means is the preliminary report still has to, 1, become a final report. And when it becomes a final report, it still has to be tabled before a council of ministers, which is really a body which brings together foreign ministers of SADC.
Of the trade?
Yes. No, it is actually, it could be large action. Right? So there's a council of ministers, and it's probably meeting around February, March. Right? Then when that has happened, then the foreign ministers must look at that report. They will then push it upwards to the SADC trade, which will be around or thereabout. Right? It still has to come to summit.
Yes.
And this will be about August next year. Right? It is only at summit
that that report is tabled, discussed, amended, endorsed, or rejected. And I have news for you. That SADC summit will be here in Zimbabwe.
That's where we are now.
And it is the summit that will ensure that the president of Zimbabwe, who presently is the deputy chair of SADC, then becomes the chair of SADC. So really, all these noises are unprocedural, first and foremost. But they have a constituents they are meant to appease and placate, which is the constituents that in fact send us a hard gun, pretending to be a chairperson. But it also teaches us a lesson. When you have a process that creates a head of state, that creates a government, that creates peace or creates war in a society, does it make sense for us to leave decisions around the constitution of a SADC observer mission to a single person minding a subsidiary body or summit? Maybe that's a conversation which we must start as Zimbabwean just as well. And let's look with the crystal ball. We have a minimum of 3 nations who are set to go for elections. We can't proceed to Eswatini for the next elections with this mess, where a chairman decides to abuse his office and destabilize a nation. Right? But let me make it very, very clear. The president has made it clear to his counterpart in Zambia that whatever the excesses of the chairman of the observer mission of SADC, that should never be allowed to injure the excellent relations between Zambia and Zimbabwe, between President Mnangagwa and President Hichilema. We must protect that bilateral relationship, but use the weaknesses we've seen in this mission to set right that which has to be corrected within our procedures in SADC. And that is the mission ahead.
So first and foremost, it's the screaming and shouting of a secretary in the president's office. Screaming and shouting. It's terrible. It's scary. That can just show you something is wrong, man, in this country. The lack of etiquette, being a diplomat or you work in the president's office, the way that you speak to the people, it's the way you convey the message. He's fighting. He's hitting the table. Does that sound familiar to you? Witness this culture. This is what you call toxic masculinity. The aggressiveness of George Charamba. I'm not surprised that allegation that he used to beat his wife. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised, And the issue of people came to observe, and they have to give back the information to those that send them. And we have a problem with their observations. Are you surprised? That's what ZANU-PF is. Is there a way always or no way? So whether even they lie, you must believe in the lie. What ZANU-PF has done to the Zimbabwean, that God will never forgive them, is to turn a country to believe in a lie, not on truth. And now not only did they try to change Zimbabwe to walk anti-clockwise, they want to transport their behavior to other countries. They want him to lie. And don't forget, Mumba has been the president of Zambia. They want this man to lie. It's very sad. And now you're calling Hichilema that he sent a hired gun. Do you know what that means? Is they don't, like I've told you before, that is saying the words without listening to what you're actually saying. And you expect that person to look at you. Some people are raised well. So because they're raised well, just because they don't answer you sometimes and walk away, it doesn't make them stupid people. It simply means they're like, I don't get involved in this. No, this is not who I am. So last week, on X, there's someone who decided to create a story that never happened and robbed me into it. And said, I said something about the girls on X. I didn't even talk about them because I don't even have time about them. I don't even think about them. I've got so much to do in my life. And you know what I told myself? I was like, you know what? Let me just not even say a word. Because the moment I do that, they want my energy. I'm not going to feed on it. I'm just going to walk away. And I did exactly that. I never answer. It doesn't mean that I'm stupid. No, I know my power and I know how much my energy costs. For me, time is money. And my energy is only there it's being sold. It's not cheap to be invested in nonsense. That's exactly what Hichilema is doing. You'd rather be in Zambia and changing lives than spending his time answering a person like Charamba. Do you expect a man who's being treated like nothing to actually come into Zimbabwe? Bear in mind, Hichilema is the most successful man. He was successful before even becoming president. Very rich man. Very professional guy. Now roped into the screaming and shouting of thugs. Yeah, listen. Okay. Let me read it that there. Honestly, let me do so. Now I'm going to read Gerard now. Gerard Angojed. He said in news that Hichilema is not coming. It's not going down well with the Marrakesh team. I see them all over casting aspersions at the man. How can he come when he is openly called a puppet of the worst, a danger to security of the region, and a nanny-partisan African? Even if it were me, with such lack of respect, I would stay away. Anyway, let's wait and see. That is Angojed saying exactly what I said. I'm not going to go where I'm being disrespected. I don't do that. I really don't. Yeah, it is what it is. You like it or you don't. I don't. So ZANU-PF patriots went into that parliament, the parliament that was donated by China. Don't mind, it was a donation from China. Remember? No wonder why Chinese are doing as they please in Zimbabwe. They donated the parliament. Are you surprised why that parliament it does not even function at all? Because trust me, anything you don't invest your time and effort and brains, you will never respect it. It's a principle. That's why you don't just give your kids money. You teach them how to work. It's a principle. So, are you surprised why Parliament is in a mess today? They never did nothing. Can we ask ourselves, where do they put the money that we are paying in Zimbabwe? In their pockets. In Dubai. In Europe. In women. Slave queens. In luxury stuff. Expensive cars. Because this is what ZANU-PF did. ZANU-PF patriots is their page, ZANU-PF page. They went to that parliament and wrote and said, it would be good if the puppet president stays far from our parliament. They're referring to Hichilema, a president of Zambia, must stay away from our parliament. I love this response from Skud Rebara, the doctor. Dr. J said, yet the parliament has a Chinese flag. Because do you know that our parliament has got a Chinese flag right now? We are colonized by China. Not only do we have a Zimbabwean flag, we also have a Chinese flag. But now go to China. In China, you can't see a Zimbabwean flag there. It's only Chinese flag. Only in Zimbabwe, we are being treated like we are stupid people. Because ZANU-PF have lowered the bar. The once known a breadbasket of Africa is being known as nothing except a mockery. They lowered the bar. They said they don't want to see Hichilema there. That parliament, that was a donation from China. I can't believe it. You didn't even build it. It was a donation. And they didn't only donate, they also put their flag there. Do you understand? Imagine, I gave you something, but I want to give you with my name on it. Can you just imagine? I'm giving a gift, but I want to make sure that it has got my name on it. Is that a gift? It's a hook. It's about me. That's why I have a problem with every person who gives and they take to social media. It's all about chasing clout. I would dare you not to give in anybody. Okay. I will not use my phone everywhere I give. Nobody will know where I give and what I do in my life. Because there's no need. Because I give to God, not to the people. And God has seen my giving. And that is enough. This word coming, so now we want to inspire who? Giving doesn't need inspiration. Giving is from the heart. Giving is connected to the divine. It's God who sends you. It's not the people. It's Yahweh who puts that desire in your heart. So as soon as you accomplish the mission, Yahweh recognizes and that is it. So China is making it very clear that we are in control. All right, moving on. Now, Hope Watching on said, what does it mean when ZANU-PF, whose government is hosting the SADC summit, calls the Zambian president Hichilema a puppet, president says you should stay away from attending the SADC News Summit. We truly have a rogue government and a president in power. How do you sink so low to continuously insult a neighbor? The other day, it was the ZANU-PF ICT cabinet minister calling the Zambian president a regional security risk. And let me tell you, we are talking about that woman who don't even have no education. Can you see how much we have lowered the bar? This is, I wish you can hear me. This is Mavetera. We used to act by that, what soap was that? That soap that when I was in the hospital, when I was able to walk, I actually asked the son, I need to go and watch, not Generations. What was the name? Studio 263, yeah. It's like, I just want to watch TV, because I'm used to watch the TV. That woman who used to act for Studio 263, and I'm not trying to undermine her, but I'm just trying to compare. He's talking to the multi-billionaire, Hichilema. Someone's husband with children and a wife. That is a security threat to the region. Something is going wrong. But here's the thing. It's the last kick of a dying horse. The last kick of a dying, the last kick of a dying horse. You understand? That's the era that we are in. The last kick of a dying horse. Moving on. SADC villas. You remember the SADC villas? When this SADC thing, the song started being sung by the ZANU-PF people. Oh no, we need to build houses for SADC delegates. 2 days. Another video that I need to do for the older people. To say Mwakabir Omari. That was the goal. They got to a point where they create manufacture assignments or any project just to loot. But there's something interesting about this project. It does rope President Emmerson Mnangagwa in. And I remember Open Parley covered it. And said something so strange about the people that were actually invited. Let me firstly read the article that was sent out immediately. They said the government is going all out to develop the infrastructure required to successfully host the regional endeavor. In an interview with the Sunday Mail Deputy Chief Secretary, National Coordinator of Flagship Programs and Projects in the Office of the President Cabinet Engineer. Wow, that's a title right there. All manner of names. Amos Marawa said all major infrastructure projects will be completed by June 30. Let that be on record. And we already have a team of experts from the construction company called Mabetex from Switzerland. Right? So a team of 500 experts from Switzerland is expected in the country to finish constructing an 18 state-of-the-art villas in Mount Habden that will accommodate high-level dignitaries during the 44th SADC Heads of State and Government Summit scheduled for August. This was the article. I'm saying 500 experts came to Zimbabwe. 500 experts. Okay. So one of my clients is a billionaire, multi-billionaire actually. People know him, those are in South Africa. His name is Bowen. He's a young Stephen Brooks. He's a young man, 50-something years old, very successful. He's very rich, he's building across South Africa. And we talk of the state of the art sometimes when he wants to build bigger, nicer. It depends on the location. I've never heard about 500 experts. I'm very close to some of those people coming to South Africa to check. In fact, where I stay, that was almost 2007, 2008, if I'm not mistaken, 7 to 8, yeah. I used to stay a bit far, not far from here, but I used to cross here. This place was a bush at that time. When they built this, I watched it. I used to pass through here. And he's done a lot of work. People that in South Africa will tell you he's known. Multi-millionaire, billionaire. So, but I've never heard about 500 experts. But in Zimbabwe, for 18 villas, they have to bring 500 experts. Looting machinery. It's just clear, you can see. Everything is a lie. Lying to the people. Now, the very same villas that were supposed meant for the SADC delegates, they are not finished. They're not finished. Now they have sent out a statement this morning. They actually sent out that, no, we did not manage to finish the villas. Now the question we need to ask all ourselves is that, number one, we have hospitals who don't have medication. You prioritize your friends that will be coming for 2 days for a summit. These are human beings. We have families who sometimes even suffering. Even themselves, some of them start with nothing. They actually understand what life is. All of a sudden, they deserve to be built a new house when they're coming to Zimbabwe. What is that supposed to tell you, Zimbabweans? It's all about looting, nothing else. Because I can tell you, I can sleep on the floor. I've done that before. Many times, not once. Who doesn't? Show me a person who didn't go to a funeral and you have to sleep on the floor because the place is packed. You can ask, I need a bed. No, sleep on the floor. But these ones could not be in a hotel, even the new hotel that we just had, to just accommodate them for that time. No, they needed to be built their new house because it was all a looting vehicle for the thugs. Stop using my words, the good elites or achillons, all manner of nonsense. Call these people as they are, Pampava. But I want you to listen to the report, to listen to what really happened from Open Party. Incredible woman who reported, I forgot her name, but incredible. Take a listen, please.
What's the real story behind these deals? Let's dive into some international scandal involving Zimbabwe and a company called Mabitech. Recently, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa met executives from Mabitech, a construction company. They promised to build villas for the upcoming SADC summit. Sounds great, right? But wait, there's more to this story. Meet Bagdad Pakoli, the founder of Mabitech. He's also the former president of Kosovo and a billionaire with a controversial past. Mabitech was accused of paying bribes to secure a Kremlin renovation deal in the 90s. The investigator was later ousted to a scandal strikingly similar to Zimbabwe's own political drama. Pakoli has alleged ties to shady figures such as Milan Radiojic, linked to organized crime, and Jose Enrique Russ, charged with fraud and corruption. Now, Mabitech is setting up shop in Zimbabwe, a country already dealing with controversial deals and corruption. What's the real story behind these deals?
There you have it. The people with such a track record of corruption, they were trusted to build. Are you surprised that it's not done? Are you surprised right now? And don't forget that most of these people get paid up front. Don't forget that. And some of these, the equipment coming from overseas, Dubai. They're coming from Dubai. I remember last time when the vice president was speaking and said that some of the equipment actually in Mozambique. Let me just tell you, one of the main reasons, and this happened during the Mugabe time, right? Why most of these guys would want a leader to be as the way President Emmerson Mnangagwa is. You know, he's on record sometimes even asking questions, oh, do we even have a railway line at all? I don't blame him because he's getting younger by day. Understandably so. I mean, I've got my father, 70 years old. You know, there's so many things that he doesn't even want to get involved in. You understand? Because his age is kind of catching up. You know, do you see this? I'm trying to just let you guys understand. And men don't grow like the way that women do. Women takes a bit longer, but men mature quicker. And they're just looting right in his face, coming with all manner of things. When I saw that minister for the road, whatever his name is, who lied again last time at Mbuzi Interchange, that no, by July 31st, we'll be done with Mbuzi Interchange. You remember that minister? He was the same person who robbed the president to a roundabout to commission a road, a 7-kilometer road. That man, I don't know his name, actually, I forgot it. You know, these people, I can't even keep their names. It's just a waste of my time. You know, you remember that guy? They haven't done Mbuzi Interchange at all. Dump the project. Boom! Now they're setting another project. dump that project. They're just taking the money from the poor. It's our money, first and foremost. I want you to hear me well, brothers, wherever you are. It's our hard-earned money. All my brothers, Zimbabweans across the world, it's our hard-earned money that you're spending. So when we question you, there's no reason whatsoever for you to say, don't ask me, because we will ask you. In 2024, there are systems that we can actually be able to open on our own and see how we have used our monies. I was shocked last time when they were saying, oh no, some of the work that we were doing, we're actually writing on the paper. Huh? No, we had a spreadsheet. In 2024, a nation is using a spreadsheet. Okay. Now you had, tell me what you think in the comment section. They are not villas. So that SADC meeting, don't they have somewhere to, they have the place to sleep. So what is double losing? We have paid double. It's spending money on the villas, the state money, right? It's not paying for the accommodation. So what was the villas for? When we don't have medication in hospitals as we speak, when we have to be screamed at by the minister in South Africa complaining that we are coming to ask for blood. And we can buy our own machines and say, yo, please, come pass through town and just donate blood. But blood has to be sold to our people. But you can spend money on villas. And now, boom, you haven't done. What's next? All right, tell me what you think in the comment section. I've heard people complaining. They're like, please, this is the right time for you to play this song. Okay, I'm going to play for you. Why you? Be good. Why you enjoy your day? I love you. Yeah, what's that song again? Yeah, the song that you have been missing. But don't forget about the issue of the protests. Prepare the way. People are preparing as we speak. The protests are coming up. So guys, be ready. And we are not retreating. We are in for a win or nothing. Take a listen. Guys, I love you. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. Don't forget to like the live before you leave. Nearly 450 people are still here. Please like the live, push algorithm, invite everyone. We are going to be more intentional right now that we are closer to the tomorrow. In fact, there's going to be the demonstration. So please come through, guys. Let's support each other. Send messages warm and really encourage people to join in as we move. I actually had one of my friends say the son was like, I need to fly to Zimbabwe. I must be part and parcel of these demonstrations. Please, guys, let's work together and build the Zimbabwe that we want. I love you and bye for now.